Hello everybody, this is Dr. Cole. It's Saturday afternoon, April 23rd, as we now enter week 8 of Humanities 2333 Philosophy of Life for the spring 2022 term. Everybody, let me say just a few things right at the outset. Grades are due 3 weeks from today, Saturday, May 14th. So I will probably be getting 2 more messages out to you. One in about a week from now, along about April 30th, give or take a day or two. And another one will be, the last one of the term will be around about May 7th. Everybody, if you feel you need to withdraw, and not that I'm insisting that you do or suggesting that you do, but if you are in a situation in which you feel you need to withdraw, this Thursday, April 28th is the deadline at the end of the business day. So check and see when the office will be closing if you need to do that, if you need to go by and see about it. The course will be offered this summer. Once this term is over, we're starting a 7-week summer term on Monday, May 16th, and I believe that's going to be the beginning of a Humanities 2333 section offered over 7 weeks. So that's something to keep in mind if you feel you need to withdraw this term. Everybody, the second written assignment is due Thursday, the same date as the deadline to withdraw. Okay, it can be uploaded to the course website. Look at the modules page, look for the second written assignment. It should be a fairly straightforward thing to do to upload that assignment or attach it to an email to me at david.cole@opsu.edu. Okay. If you did not submit a first written assignment, you must be sure to submit the second one because you were allowed to drop one 100-point grade. If you did not do that first assignment, it's very important you complete the other assignments in the course. Everyone, the assignment asks you to reflect as to whether or not any views you may have harbored have changed over the course of taking this course. Maybe they have, maybe they have not. Okay? But that's what you're asked to do in the second written assignment. Many students end up submitting something that's pretty autobiographical. Please keep in mind it needs to be philosophical as well as autobiographical, and that will help you get a better mark on the paper. Okay, so it's something of an open-ended paper. Once again, it's not strictly a research paper, although a little bit of research might help you, much as with the first written assignment. I would say turn in something about as long as what you might have turned in for the first, maybe not quite as long, but that is due this Thursday, April 28th, which is also the last day to withdraw from a course for the term if you should feel you need to do that. Okay. Now, on the syllabus for this week, we have life decisions and Kantian ethics, the lecture notes for lectures 13 and 14. Now, everybody, let me mention also, once the deadline goes this Thursday for the second written assignment, we need to get one more discussion in. And I'm going to schedule that for 3 days, somewhere between April 29th and May 4th. Okay? It'll have to do with this matter of life decisions. We'll run that for 3 days, and that will be your last chance to get 50 points for taking part in the discussion for the term as we approach the end of the term now. Now, in the material on life decisions, I have incorporated some material from a book by a professor who once taught me decades ago, Tom Herka, author of a book, The Best Things in Life. And we go through his account of the many different good things you might seek to achieve or to experience in life. That's worth thinking about as you make decisions about education, careers, marriage, and such things. Okay. What are you seeking to do? What is most important to you? Perhaps that material in Lecture 13 will be helpful to you in thinking about decisions like that as you come to face those things as you go through life. So I hope that'll be something of interest to you. So we're taking a little break from ethics then, in a sense, although there's some ethical implications to what you decide to do with your life. Remember, last week we had a lecture, a set of notes that had largely to do with cynicism and then different kinds of consequentialism, that is, judging making ethical judgments according to the consequences of actions, either according to utilitarianism or Aristotelian ethics known as virtue ethics or perfectionism. But in the notes for lecture 14, we look at Kantian ethics, which are often described by the technical term deontological, a term you will see in those class notes. That means non-consequentialist. In other words, an approach to ethics that's not consequentialist. Now, consequentialism may seem like common sense to us, but what Immanuel Kant says is that there's an obligation to be ethical and the consequences be damned. Okay? In other words, you have an absolutely binding obligation to act in an ethical way. And what Immanuel Kant is trying to say, perhaps we can understand it this way. You ought to behave ethically, you have an obligation to do so, and you shouldn't count up and calculate the costs and benefits to yourself before doing so. You have an obligation to behave ethically no matter what the costs or the benefits might be in your own particular case. Okay. Now, is that compatible with taking consequences into account? Well, perhaps, or perhaps not. But it's a challenge to other ways of looking at ethics that we need to be familiar with, and we need to consider the nature of the ethical obligation that's binding on all of us. So you'll find that topic discussed in the notes for lecture 14 up on the course website. Okay. All right, so we have a written assignment due this week. And once that deadline passes, we're going to schedule one discussion, and that will be it for the term except for the final exam. We have some things on the syllabus for next week, the notes for lectures 15 and 16, and we'll talk about that material next week when we get this message out to you. And that will be the second to last message of the term before we wind this up and turn grades in on Saturday, May 14th. So, please try to get that written assignment in, especially if you did not turn in the first one. Contact me in case of any questions, issues, or difficulties through the course website or at david.cole@opsu.edu. We'll run one more discussion once the deadline for the written assignment passes on Thursday. So watch for an announcement about that. That will take us 3 days, as with the previous discussions. And then we'll get two more of these video messages out to you, and the first of those two will come about this time next week, and we'll try to have a bit to say about the material in the class notes for lectures 15 and 16. So we hope you'll get that written assignment in and take part in the discussion once we schedule it. And we'll be talking to you once again about a week from now at this time. Good luck, take it easy, study hard.